Did you know you've probably already worked for a few hours today without getting paid, and you didn't even realize it? No clocking in, no contract signed, and no one told you your shift had started. You just woke up, reached for your phone, and slipped into your usual online routine. Think about it. You checked your messages, scrolled through your feed, watched a couple of short videos, liked a post here, skipped another there. Maybe you sent a meme to a friend, or clicked on a catchy headline and found yourself watching a video for way longer than you planned. From your perspective, you were just waking up, killing a bit of time, and catching up with the world. But from the system's point of view, every single second of that time was turned into data. What you watched, what you ignored, what made you stop scrolling, what made you angry, what made you laugh, most importantly, what kept you hooked. And all of that data, your data, is already making someone else a lot of money. This concept has a name: digital labor, and we're all doing it every day for free. So what exactly is digital labor? At its core, it's the value we generate for tech companies through our online activities. Every click, like, share, comment, and even the amount of time we spend looking at something is a piece of data. This data is the lifeblood of the modern digital economy. Companies use it to understand us, to predict our behavior, and, of course, to sell us things more effectively. Let's break it down. When you post a photo, you're not just sharing a memory. You're creating content that keeps other users on the platform. When you review a product, you're providing free market research and influencing the purchasing decisions of others. When you scroll through your feed and react to posts, you are training an algorithm. You are teaching it what's engaging, what's boring, and what's likely to go viral. This refined algorithm is then used to keep everyone else glued to their screens for longer, which means more opportunities to show them ads. Essentially, our attention has become the product. Platforms don't charge us money to use them. They charge advertisers for access to our attention. The more attention they can capture, the more money they make. We are the workers on the assembly line of the attention economy, and our payment is the dopamine hit from a like or a funny video. It's a transaction, but one where the terms are heavily skewed. We're doing the work, generating the value, but the vast majority of the profits flow upwards to a handful of massive corporations. You might be thinking, okay, but I enjoy using these platforms. It doesn't feel like work. And that's the genius of it. The lines between labor, leisure, and social life have been completely blurred. Our social interactions, our hobbies, our moments of boredom, they've all been co-opted and monetized. The system is designed to be engaging, even addictive. It's designed to feel like play, not work. This is what some scholars call playbor, a portmanteau of play and labor. We're working while we play, and playing while we work, often without distinguishing between the two. Think about the rise of the creator economy. Influencers, streamers, YouTubers, they are the most visible digital laborers. They actively create content, build communities, and engage with their audience. It looks glamorous, but behind every successful creator are countless hours of unpaid or underpaid work, planning, filming, editing, marketing, and constantly feeding the algorithmic machine to stay relevant. But digital labor isn't just for professional content creators. It's for everyone. If you've ever filled out a CAPTCHA to prove you're not a robot, you've performed digital labor. Those little puzzles where you have to identify street signs or storefronts. You're helping to train artificial intelligence systems for self-driving cars and other technologies for free. You are doing a task that a computer can't yet do perfectly, and in the process, you are teaching it how to do it better. So, what does this all mean for us? Are we just cogs in a giant, invisible machine? Well, yes and no. The first step is awareness. Recognizing that our online time has tangible economic value is crucial. We need to shift our mindset from being passive consumers to active participants who are generating value. When you understand the transaction that's taking place, you can start to make more conscious choices about how and where you spend your digital time. This isn't about logging off forever. These platforms connect us, inform us, and entertain us. They have real social value. The question is about fairness and balance. If our data is so valuable, shouldn't we have more control over it? Shouldn't we have a say in how it's used? Some people are even proposing radical new models, like a data dividend, where companies would pay users a small fee for the data they generate. Imagine getting a check in the mail just for scrolling. It sounds futuristic, but it's a serious proposal being discussed by economists and policymakers. Other ideas focus on data ownership and portability. What if you could easily take your social graph or your friends and connections from one platform to another? This would create more competition and give users more power. If a platform changes its rules or becomes too intrusive, you could simply pack up your digital life and move elsewhere without losing your network. We can also take individual steps. We can be more mindful of our online habit. Ask yourself, am I using this platform, or is this platform using me? We can support alternative, non-profit, or user-owned platforms that are built on different ethical principles. We can use privacy-enhancing tools to limit the amount of data we share, and we can advocate for stronger data protection laws and regulations that put users' rights first. The conversation about digital labor is a conversation about the future of work, the nature of value, and what it means to be a citizen in the digital age. It challenges us to rethink our relationship with technology. The little device in your pocket is not just a window to the world, it's also a work site, and every time you unlock it, your shift begins. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but understanding the dynamic is the first, most powerful step. The next time you find yourself mindlessly scrolling, just take a second to remember. You're not just killing time, you're creating value. The real question is, for whom and on what terms? Thanks for watching. If this video made you think, please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into our digital world. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever thought of your online activity as work? Let's discuss it. See you in the next one. Who actually controls your attention? Have you ever wondered why we give away hours of our lives to screens? Or how we ended up in a world where algorithms seem to know us better than our own families? Today, we're going to dig into how this digital servitude works. We'll explore why the most valuable companies in the world no longer just sell products to us, but instead they sell us to other people. More importantly, we'll talk about what you can do to use these systems consciously instead of letting them quietly use you. Now, this isn't about demonizing technology. The problem isn't the phone in your hand. The problem is the incentives behind the platforms that are fiercely competing for your attention every single waking hour. By the end of this video, my goal isn't to scare you away from the internet. It's to give you a clearer picture of the game you're already playing every single day. Because once you understand the rules, you can start making real choices again, instead of being pulled around on autopilot. Since we are literally talking about attention and algorithms, this is the perfect moment to address the obvious. If this topic feels relevant to you and you want more deep dive breakdowns like this, I would really appreciate your support. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Drop a like on this video if it helps you look at your own online habits a little differently. And tell me in the comments how you personally feel about social media right now. Do you feel like you're using it? Or do you feel like it's using you? Your comment is important, not just for the algorithm, but for others who will scroll down and see themselves in your words. At the same time, all those likes, comments, and subscriptions send YouTube a simple signal. This is useful, show this to more people who might need to hear it. Thank you for taking a second to do that. Now, let's unpack how we all turned into the raw material of the digital world. It all starts with a simple, yet powerful, business model: the attention economy. Think about it. What do companies like Google, Meta, and TikTok actually sell? It's not a physical product. They sell access to you. Your eyeballs, your time, your data. They are in the business of capturing and reselling human attention, and they've gotten incredibly good at it. How? Through a sophisticated system of psychological triggers and algorithmic feedback loops designed to keep you scrolling, tapping, and watching for as long as possible. Let's break down the mechanics. Every time you open an app, you're entering a carefully engineered environment. The infinite scroll, the pull to refresh mechanism, the little red notification dots, these aren't random design choices. They're based on principles from behavioral psychology. The pull to refresh, for example, is a digital slot machine. You pull the lever and you might get a rewarder, new like, a message, an interesting post, or you might get nothing. This is called a variable reward schedule, and it's one of the most powerful tools for creating habits or even addictions. Your brain gets a hit of dopamine with each unpredictable reward, which makes you want to pull that lever again and again. Then there's the algorithm. It's the silent director of your digital life. Its primary goal is to maximize your engagement. It tracks everything you do, what you watch, how long you watch it, what you like, who you follow, even how fast you scroll past certain content. It uses this mountain of data to build a highly detailed model of you, your interests, your insecurities, your political leanings, your desires. Then, it serves you content that it predicts you'll find irresistible. It's a feedback loop. The more you engage, the better the algorithm understands you. The better it understands you, the better it can keep you engaged. This is why your For You page can feel so personal, so addictive. It's a mirror reflecting a version of yourself, curated to keep you hooked. The consequence of this is that we've outsourced our choices. We don't actively decide what to watch or read next. The algorithm decides for us. It subtly guides our thoughts, shapes our opinions, and influences our moods. We think we're just killing time, but in reality, our time is being monetized and our behavior is being modified second by second. This isn't some far-off dystopian future. It's the reality of how these platforms operate right now. They've created a system where the easiest thing to do is to keep consuming. The path of least resistance is to just let the next video autoplay. So what's the human cost of this? It's more than just wasted time. It's a decline in our ability to focus. Deep work, sustained concentration, and quiet reflection are becoming rare skills because our brains are being rewired for constant distraction. But we're living in a state of continuous partial attention, always half listening, half watching, half present. This also affects our social fabric. Algorithms tend to show us more of what we already agree with, creating filter bubbles and echo chambers. They can amplify extreme content because outrage is a powerful driver of engagement. This polarization isn't necessarily a deliberate goal of the platforms, but it's a natural byproduct of an algorithm optimized for one thing: keeping your attention at all costs. This might sound bleak, but knowledge is power. The first step to reclaiming your attention is understanding how it's being captured. It's not about blaming yourself for a lack of willpower. You re-up against thousands of the brightest engineers and psychologists in the world whose job is to keep you hooked. So, what can you actually do? Let's get practical. First, start by curating your digital environment. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Those little red dots are designed to trigger your anxiety and pull you back in. You decide when you want to check your apps, not the other way round. Go through your phone and delete apps you don't truly need or get value from. For the apps you keep, move them off your home screen and into a folder. This adds a little bit of friction, a moment of pause where you have to consciously decide to open the app instead of tapping it mindlessly. Second, practice intentional consumption. Before you open a social media app, ask yourself, why am I opening this? What do I want to get out of this session? Maybe you want to check in on a friend or look up a specific piece of information. Go in, do that one thing, and then get out. Don't fall into the endless scroll. Set a timer if you have to. Using these platforms with a purpose transforms you from a passive consumer into an active user. Third, retrain your algorithm. The algorithm is a learning machine, so teach it what you actually want. Actively unfollow accounts that make you feel bad, angry, or envious. Actively seek out and engage with content that is educational, inspiring, or genuinely connects you with people you care about. Use the "not interested" button liberally. You are essentially curating your own feed, telling the algorithm, "Show me more of this, and less of that." Over time, your feed will start to reflect your values, not just your impulses. Fourth, and this is crucial, create time for digital detox. Schedule regular periods where you are completely unplugged. This could be an hour before bed, the first hour of your morning, or one day a week. Use this time to do things that require deep focus and are fulfilling in the real world. Read a physical book. Go for a walk without your phone. Have a conversation with someone face to face without interruptions. These activities help your brain recover from the constant stimulation of the digital world and strengthen your attention muscle. Remember, the goal isn't to quit the internet. These tools offer incredible benefits when used correctly. They connect us, educate us, and entertain us. The goal is to shift your relationship with them. It's about moving from mindless consumption to mindful use. It's about taking back control and making your technology work for you, not the other way around. You are not just a user. You are the one who sets the terms of your engagement. By understanding the game, you can start playing it on your own terms. You can choose when to engage and when to disconnect. You can curate a digital world that enriches your life instead of draining it. The power to do this is already in your hands. It starts with the very next time you pick up your phone. Will you let it lead you, or will you lead it? Thank you so much for spending your valuable attention with me today. If this video gave you a new perspective, please consider subscribing for more content like this, and give it a like to help it reach more people. And I'm genuinely curious to read your thoughts in the comments. Let's start a conversation about how we can build a healthier relationship with technology together. Thanks for watching. We live in a time where opening an app feels as natural as breathing. You stand in line for coffee and your thumb unlocks the screen almost by itself. You sit down on the couch and your fingers already know which icon to tap before you even think about it. It's become an unconscious reflex, a part of our modern muscle memory. Think back 10 or 15 years ago, when you wanted to watch something online, you'd open up YouTube or Google, and you'd type in what you were looking for. You'd search for funny cat videos, highlights from last night's game, a tutorial on how to fix a leaky faucet. You were in the driver's seat. You told the internet what you wanted. Today, that whole dynamic has flipped. For most people, the first step isn't searching. The first step is just opening the app. You open TikTok, you open Instagram Reels, you open YouTube Shorts, and you let the feed do the work. The platform whispers, "Relax, I already know what you'll like." And the scary part is, most of the time, it's alarmingly accurate. It feels like magic. From your side of the screen, it's simple. You're just passively watching whatever appears in front of you. But from the platform's side, you're not just a viewer, you are a constant flowing stream of signals. The system is quietly measuring every single thing you do. It's tracking how long you stay on each clip, down to the millisecond. It notes the exact moment where you get bored and swipe away. It remembers which topics made you stop the scroll yesterday and which ones you flew past. It notices which creators you tend to watch all the way through and which ones you bail on after a few seconds. The algorithm sees when you're tired and when you're energized, when you're bored on a Sunday afternoon, and when you're stressed on a Tuesday morning. It doesn't know your soul. Of course not. But it knows your patterns better than you know them yourself. It doesn't love you or hate you. It's not your friend, and it's not your enemy. It is a prediction machine, a giant complex engine with one primary, overarching goal: show you something, anything that will keep you here for just a little bit longer. Why? The logic is brutally simple. The longer you stay on the platform, the more ads it can slot in between pieces of content, the more money it makes from your single session, and, crucially, the more training data it gets about people just like you. Every second you spend is a lesson for the machine. This brings us to one of the biggest illusions of the digital age: the idea of free. Most of the big apps you use every single day feel free. Search is free. Social media is free. Video platforms are free. Messaging your friends is free. You don't pay to post your vacation photos. You don't pay to scroll through your feed. You don't pay to watch a million videos. But free in the digital world almost never actually means free. It's a marketing term. What it really means is you're not paying with dollars. You are paying with something far more valuable. You're paying with your time. You're paying with your attention. You're paying with your personal information, your preferences, your habits, and ultimately, you are paying with your behavior. The key shift that many of us still have unfully grasped is this: on most of these platforms, you are not the main customer. You are the product. You, your attention, and your data are the goods being neatly packaged and sold. The real customers are the advertisers, the brands, the political campaigns, anyone who is willing to pay for access to the eyeballs and minds of people like you. The platform's job is a three-step process. First, attract as many humans as possible. Second, keep them there for as long as possible. Third, learn as much as possible about them. And finally, rent out that captured attention to the highest bidder. Once you truly see this underlying business model, your entire day online starts to look very, very different. All those small, seemingly insignificant actions you take without even thinking, they suddenly have a new meaning. You upload a photo of your lunch. You like a friend's post about their new puppy. You write a quick 2-sentence review for a restaurant you just tried. You search for a new pair of running shoes. You anxiously look up your symptoms at 2 in the morning. You click on a video, watch 6 seconds of it, and swipe away in boredom. Then you click on another video and stay glued to the screen for 3 full minutes. Each of those tiny actions is a little unpaid task you are performing for the platform. You are, in effect, a volunteer data entry clerk training its algorithm. You are teaching it how people like you behave. You are making the entire system smarter, more efficient, and ultimately more valuable for the company that owns it. And you don't get a paycheck for providing all this incredibly valuable training data. What do you get in return? You get more highly targeted content designed to keep you scrolling, and more highly targeted ads and offers designed to make you buy. Now, multiply this process by billions of people around the world. Suddenly, you have the largest workforce in human history, unconsciously working for a handful of tech giants. They're not working 8 hours a day in an office. They're working for a few minutes here, a few minutes there, every single time they touch their phone screen. There's no boss yelling at them, no one forcing them to stay late. All it takes is a little hit of dopamine from a well-designed, frictionless interface and a deeply ingrained habit. But there's another layer to this that makes it even more powerful. Not all content is created equal when it comes to keeping your attention. Think about it. Balanced.com, nuanced information is good for your brain. It helps you understand the world better. But it's not always great for watch time. It doesn't make the engagement metrics explode. What really makes the numbers go through the roof is raw, powerful emotion, outrage, fear, drama, conflict, envy, humiliation, shock. These are the emotions that hijack our brains. If a piece of content makes you angry, you're far more likely to stay and argue in the comments section, driving up engagement. If a post makes you feel jealous of someone else's life, you're more likely to keep scrolling, comparing yourself, and falling deeper into the feed. If a video scares you, you might be compelled to binge-watch similar videos to either confirm or soothe your fears. If a headline perfectly confirms your deepest beliefs about the world, you're much more likely to share it with your network. If a headline perfectly confirms your deepest beliefs about the world, you're much more likely to share it with your network. From the algorithm's perspective, this is perfect. It's a jackpot. It doesn't care if your anxiety level goes up, as long as your watch time goes up with it. Your mental health, your ability to focus, your sense of well-being, these things end up in direct competition with the platform's business model. And when a user's well-being goes up against a trillion-dollar company's bottom line, guess which side usually wins? Now, I know what you might be thinking. On a moment-to-moment, micro level, it still feels like you are in complete control. You decide what to click on. You decide when to swipe away. You decide when to close the app and get back to your life. And that's true. But on the macro level, the system has already curated the reality you're experiencing. It already chose which options to place in front of you. It chose the order of the videos in your feed. It tested and selected the most click-worthy thumbnail. It optimized the wording of the title to provoke the strongest reaction. It even chose the exact time of day to push that notification to your phone. You are free to choose from the menu, but you didn't write the menu. The menu was written by a combination of people and incredibly sophisticated AI systems, whose primary incentive is not your personal growth, your happiness, or your peace of mind. Their primary incentive is your continued presence on the platform. So let's wrap up this first part with the main idea. The apps we use every day feel free, but our time and attention are the real currency. We are not just users, we are also the raw material that fuels the machine. Everything we do online, every click and every scroll, trains the system to predict and influence our behavior more accurately. And within this system, the most emotional, divisive, and addictive content tends to rise to the top because that's what keeps us hooked. We still feel like we're the ones making the choices, but we're mostly just choosing from a carefully constructed box that somebody else built for us. Understanding this isn't about feeling powerless. It's the first step toward taking your power back. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's take a look at human history from a very, very high altitude. If you zoom out far enough, you can see these rough eras of how power and control have worked. Of course, reality is always way more complex than any simple model, but this perspective can help us spot patterns that keep repeating, just in new and surprising forms. For a very long time, most people on this planet were farmers. Your life was set from birth. You were born in a village. You worked the land your entire life. And your survival depended on things you couldn't control: the weather, the soil, disease, wars, and the strength of your own body. A very small group of people owned most of the land and, crucially, most of the weapons. These were your kings, lords, nobles, and warlords. They offered a simple deal to everyone else. We will protect you from chaos, from invaders, and from starvation. In return, you owe us a share of your harvest, your labor, and your absolute loyalty. This is the heart of feudalism. Power equals land. Land equals food, and food equals survival. Most people work the fields, and a tiny minority collects the rent. You trade your freedom for a bit of stability. You trade risk for some predictability. And once a system like this is in place, it is incredibly hard to escape. Your options are limited. Your social role is pretty much fixed, and you know, in a very direct and personal way, that you are not truly free. Now, let's fast forward many centuries. The world starts to change, and fast. New technologies like the steam engine, electricity, and complex machines explode onto the scene. Factories sprout up. railroads crisscross continents, connecting cities, and a massive migration begins as people move from the quiet countryside to bustling urban centers. Now, the key source of power isn't just land anymore, it's industrial capital. Who owns the factories? Who owns the machines, the patents, and the big companies? You are no longer just a farmer. You become a worker. You sell your time and your skills to an employer. In exchange, you get a salary, maybe housing, and access to all the new goods being produced. Your life starts to revolve around shifts, schedules, and the concept of the weekend. This is the era of industrial capitalism. In this model, power equals capital and the capacity for production. Capital is the factories, the infrastructure, and the intellectual property. People become workers during the day and consumers in their free time. And again, you remaking a trade. You retrading a certain kind of freedom for a new kind of stability and comfort. This brings us to today, to the present era, where something new has taken center stage. We still have land, of course. We still have factories, but the new primary resource, the new oil, is data and attention. Today, some of the most powerful players in the entire world are those who control the digital platforms. They control the online marketplaces, the social networks we use to connect, the search engines we use to find information, the video platforms we watch, and the cloud infrastructure that runs it all. They own the systems through which billions of people see the world, communicate with each other, and make decisions every single day. Instead of fields, we now have feeds. Instead of owning acres of farmland, a company owns an endless scrolling timeline. And instead of planting crops and harvesting wheat, these platforms plant content and harvest our behavior. You could call this the era of platforms, or maybe more accurately, the era of feeds. Your Instagram feed, your TikTok For You page, your YouTube recommendations, your personalized news feed. In this age, power equals having access to billions of human minds at scale. The new landlords are the ones who own the platforms, the servers, and the algorithms that decide what you see. And the new rent is collected not from fields, but from our streams of attention and vast rivers of our data. The data centers are the new factories. The AI models are the new, incredibly efficient machines. They run 12 months a year, 24 hours a day, constantly processing, learning, and optimizing. And where do they get their raw material? From us. From our clicks, our searches, our videos, our photos, our private messages, and even our pauses and hesitations. Every moment of indecision is a data point. The strange paradox of this new system is that it can feel a lot more pleasant than the old ones. In the feudal era, you knew you weren't free. Your options were brutally, obviously limited. In the factory era, you understood that you were working for someone else's company. You knew you could be hired or fired. But in the era of feeds, it often feels like you're just relaxing, browsing, and entertaining yourself. There's no boss yelling at you. There's no physical gate keeping you in. The mechanism of control has become softer, more psychological, and almost invisible. No one tells you, "You must watch this, or you will be punished." Instead, the system just whispers, "You might like this, and maybe this one too." Your chains are now made of notifications, streaks, likes, and the fear of missing out. You feel more connected to people than ever before, and at the same time, more distracted and fragmented than ever. You scroll to feel less lonely. You scroll to escape stress. You scroll when you're happy, and you scroll when you're bored. The very same platforms that give you a sense of community are the ones that also keep you chasing the next hit of stimulation, the next little dopamine rush. Just look at the number of jobs and roles that now depend almost entirely on these platforms. If you want to sell a product, you have to play by the rules of search engines, social feeds, and recommendation systems. If you want to be a driver, a courier, or a freelancer, you depend on apps, their rating systems, and their fees. If you want to be a creator, an artist, a musician, you depend on a handful of giant platforms for your distribution, your monetization, and your visibility. The interface, the app on your phone, becomes the gatekeeper. It's the gatekeeper to the customer, to the audience, to the entire market. And gatekeepers always charge rent, always. Just like the feudal lords took a cut of your harvest, platforms take a cut of everything that flows through them. They take a cut of ad revenue. They take a cut of sales. They take a cut of subscriptions. And they always take a cut in the form of your data. The difference is that we don't really see it as rent. We see it as normal fees, or service charges, or we just click agree on the terms of use without reading it. But the underlying pattern is exactly the same. We control the infrastructure that you need. If you want access, you have to pay. Sometimes you pay with money, but you always pay with your data and your behavior. And there's also a psychological rent we're paying. Because these feeds are designed for addiction, we pay with our fragmented attention. We pay with constant distraction. We pay with a lower capacity to focus and, for many, with more anxiety. We say we have no time, but somehow we find hours every day to scroll. We end up like characters in a fairy tale, sent into a magical forest with a clear purpose. But we keep getting distracted by the beautiful, shimmering illusions on the side of the path. We forget why we even opened the app in the first place. We forget what we were supposed to be doing. And maybe most importantly, we start to forget what we actually want from life beyond the next thing on the screen. It's a quieter, more comfortable form of control, but it's a powerful one nonetheless. And understanding this pattern, from the field to the factory to the feed, is the first step in deciding how we want to live within it. Thanks for watching. If this gave you something to think about, consider subscribing for more videos. See you in the next one. So, what do we do with all of this? The answer is not to smash your phone and run into the woods. For most people, that is neither realistic nor necessary. The truth is that technology itself is not the enemy. The same tools that keep us distracted can also help us learn, create, and connect at a level that was impossible a generation ago. You can learn almost any skill from your bedroom. You can start a business with nothing but a phone and an internet connection. You can meet people who share your interests, even if nobody around you understands you. Artificial intelligence can help you write, design, edit, and build things that used to require a whole team. So the goal is not to reject the digital world. The goal is to stop living in it on autopilot. The first step is awareness. Most of us open apps without a conscious intention. Our hand moves before our brain catches up. One simple habit is this. Before you tap an app, ask yourself a tiny question: why am I opening this right now? Am I here to do something specific, or am I just trying not to feel bored, stressed, or uncomfortable? If you have a clear purpose, set a mental timer. I'm going in to send 2 messages. I'm going in to watch 1 tutorial. I'm going in to post 1 piece of content. When you finish, close it. If you realize you're opening it for no reason, give yourself the option to stop. You won't win that battle every time, but even noticing the impulse weakens its power over you. The second step is redesigning your digital environment. Right now, your phone and your apps are probably optimized for the platforms, not for you. Turn off as many non-essential notifications as you can. You do not need to be interrupted every time someone posts a story or likes a photo. Move the most addictive apps off your home screen. Make them a little harder to reach, so that opening them becomes a choice, not a reflex. Create no phone zones in your day, for example. No phone at the table. No phone for the first 30 minutes after you wake up. No phone for the last 30 minutes before you go to sleep. Those small rules give your brain a chance to breathe without constant stimulation. The third step is to clean up your information diet. Just like with food, what you consume mentally shapes how you feel. Unfollow accounts that constantly make you angry, jealous, or exhausted. Mute or unsubscribe from sources that add noise but not value. Actively search for creators and channels that help you grow, learn, and feel grounded. The algorithm follows your lead. If you click on chaos, it serves more chaos. If you click on depth, it will slowly serve more depth. You can't control everything it shows, but your habits nudge it in one direction or another. The fourth step is to shift from being only a consumer to also being a creator, even in small ways. You don't have to become a full-time influencer, but when you create something, you move from passive scrolling to active expression. You start using the tools instead of just letting them use you. That could mean posting a thoughtful comment instead of just lurking. It could mean sharing something you learned instead of only saving videos to a private folder. It could mean making a short video or starting a simple project and using the internet to push it forward. When you create, you reconnect with your own agency. You remember that you're not just data. You're a person with ideas, skills, and a story. The fifth step is to understand the trade you're making. Whenever a platform or service feels free, remind yourself of the unspoken cost. Ask, what am I giving them in exchange for this convenience? Is it my browsing history? Is it my face? Is it my voice? Is it my attention for the next 2 hours? There's nothing wrong with making that trade sometimes. The problem is making it blindly, every day, without limits. If you treat your time and data as valuable, you'll naturally become more selective. You'll be quicker to close a tab that does nothing for you. You'll be slower to fall into a 3-hour scrolled spiral. You'll start to feel a little more like the one holding the remote. None of this will turn off the platforms. None of this will stop companies from collecting data or training AI models, but it will change your relationship with them. Instead of being an always-on, always-available raw material, you become a more intentional participant. You reclaim parts of your day that you didn't realize you had lost. You protect your ability to focus, to think clearly, and to feel present in your own life. The future will almost certainly be even more digital than the present. Smarter algorithms, more immersive experiences, more personalized everything. That can lead to incredible opportunities and also deeper forms of manipulation. Which side of that future you experience depends a lot on the habits you build now. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to become a monk who never touches a screen.